Hi all. In this chess position, there's only one move for white that will be a checkmate in 2. Any other moves will be a checkmate in 3 or worse. See that the black king is surrounded by the bishops, the knight, the 2 rooks, the knight at the top, and also the queen's ready to move in. White's turn. Can you see the checkmate in 2 for white? If you check the king with the rook on e5, that won't get you a mate in 2, because the black knight can take back. After you take the knight with your rook, the king has an escape square, and then you can only mate in 3 with the pawn or the queen. Taking the knight with your bishop isn't a mate in 2, unless black does something like take your rook with their pawn, then you can do a reveal check with your rook. Black instead can move the knight to d3, checking your king, you can take it back with your rook. King then has to take your other rook, and then you can get just the mate in 3 with your bishop. If you move your queen to b4, you won't get a mate in 2 unless black makes a move like moving their rook, in which case you can move the queen to c5 to checkmate in 2. Black can save the mate in 2 by taking the rook with their pawn. You can then move your bishop out of the way, but the king has an escape square taking the other rook, and then you can only mate in 3 with the bishop. Checking the king by moving your knight to c6 means that the king is checked but can't move, so they have to take back with the rook. You can then check with your queen. If black blocks with their knight, you can then checkmate in just 3 with your rook. And if black tries to block the queen with the rook, the queen can just take it, checkmate in 3 this way. Okay, let's have a look at the solution to this one, so pause the video if you need some more time. To get the checkmate in 2 for white, you need to move the rook to g3. If black advances their pawn or takes the bishop, you can move the queen to c5, taking the knight to checkmate in 2. If black decides to take the rook on e5 with their pawn, you can then take the knight with your bishop to checkmate in 2. If black checks your king by moving their knight to f3, you can take it back with your knight to checkmate in 2. If black decides to take your rook with their king, you can then move your other rook to d3 to do a reveal check with the bishop, and that's another mate in 2. That's the end of this video. Please subscribe to not miss out on future chess puzzles, and I'll see you again soon.